Hi friends, I'm Rajnikant. Welcome you to my YouTube channel Sumant Digital English Tutorial Videos. Dear guys, today I have brought short answer questions from the lesson 4 Homecoming written by Rabindranath Tagore. Dear guys, 10 questions have been put in this video. Let's start with question number 1. Question 1. What did Fatika and his friends decide to do? Its answer. Fatik Chakravarti was a typical naughty village boy, about 14 years old. He was the ringleader of his gang. He never went up to his school, but he spent the whole day flying kites, swimming in the river, and playing mischief. He was inventive and full of ideas. One day a new mischief got into his head. There was a heavy log lying on the mud flat of a river, waiting to be shaped into mast for a boat. Fatika and his friends decided that they should shift the log by force from its place and roll it away. The owner of the log would be angry and surprised, and they would enjoy all the fun. Question 2. How did Makhan spoil the fun? Its answer. Fatika and his friends decided to perform a new mischief. They decided that they should shift the log by force from its place and roll it away. The owner of the log would be angry and surprised, and they would enjoy all the fun. But the fun was spoiled before it started, as Fatik's bro Makhan went against this plan. He decided not to allow them to roll the log away. So he quietly sat down on the log without uttering a word. This made everybody puzzled for a moment. Fatik asked him to get up, but Makhan sat more confidently and appeared like a young philosopher meditating. Now it was the question of Fatik's dignity before the gang, and so he ordered the gangs to roll the log along with Makhan. As the log moved, Makhan fell into mud, so he quarreled with Fatik and went home crying. All in this way, Makhan spoiled the fun. Okay guys, now question 3. Who arrived at Fatik's house? December, the brother of Fatik's mother, was his maternal uncle, came to Fatik's house. December had gone away soon after the marriage of Fatik's mother and his sister, and he also started business at Bombay. December now came back to Kolkata and was visiting his sister after a long period. Question 4. Why did Fatik go to Calcutta? Fatik Chakravarti was a typical naughty village boy about 14 years old. He never went to school, but he spent whole day flying kites and playing mischief. He was a perpetual nuisance, and his widow mother did not know how to manage him. He was lazy, disobedient, and wild, so not studying properly. Once his maternal uncle December visited his sister after a long time. He volunteered to take Fatik to Calcutta, where he would be educated. Fatik's mother readily agreed, and Fatik also was excited to go. He readily went to Calcutta expecting a new exciting life there. Question 5. Why was Fatik unwelcome his aunt? Its answer. When Fatik and his uncle reached Calcutta, Fatik made the acquaintance with his aunt for the first time. His aunt was not happy at all to see him. For her, Fatik was an unnecessary addition to her family because she had already 3 children who were quite unmanageable. To bring a village boy of 14 was much more upsetting to her, so Fatik was unwelcome to his aunt. Question 6. Why was Fatik unhappy in Calcutta? Its answer. Fatik was sent to Calcutta by his mother. He hoped that the boy would get good education and be happy there. Fatik too expected to have an exciting life, but his aunt did not show him any love. She was rude with and found faults with him. He was despised and insulted every now and then. His cousins also made fun of him. He was the most backward boy in the whole school. He was beaten unmercifully by the teacher day after day. He could not make any friends. He longed for his village where he was the ringleader and where he had enjoyed the life. The house became a prison for him. He wanted to run away to his village. The whole life was miserable and unhappy in Calcutta. Question 7. What happened to Fatik at school? Its answer. Fatik was the most backward boy in the school. He remained silent when the teacher asked him a question, and like an ass, patiently suffered all the blows that came down on his back. One day, he lost his lesson book. It was impossible to prepare a lesson without it. Day by day, he was beaten unmercifully by the teacher. His condition became so miserable that even his cousins were ashamed of him. He was insulted by the classmates. These all the trouble faced by Fatik when he was at school. Question 8. Why did Fatik run away? Its answer. Fatik was sent to Calcutta by his mom. He hoped that the boy would get good education and be happy there. Fatik too expected to have an exciting life, but his aunt did not show him any love. He was rude and found fault with him. She was rude and found fault with him. He was despised and insulted every now and then. His cousin also made fun of him. His life at school was no better. He was the most backward boy in the whole school. The house became prison for him. The whole his life was miserable and unhappy in Calcutta. Now he longed for his village where he was the ringleader and where he had enjoyed life. He also remembered his mother. One day he fell sick and he feared that in such condition he would be nuisance to his aunt, so he ran away from home. Dear guys, the next question is 9th. Who come to see Fatik? Its answer. Pratik was very unhappy at uncle's house in Calcutta. He received no love and affection. His aunt found fault with him and insulted him. Once in the state of malarial fever, he ran away from home. He was brought back in serious condition. The boy told his uncle that he wanted to go home to his mother. His uncle assured him that he would send him when the holidays would come. In this delirium, he kept on asking his uncle if the holidays had come. Finally, his mother was sent for and she arrived just in the time to see her son die. His mother came to see her son dying. Now, question 10. What do you think had happened to the Pratik? The homecoming is a touching story of a boy of 14 years. Back in village, he was happy and free. He played his boy's pranks and has fun common to his age, but life lost all its charms when he was sent to Calcutta. Instead of love, he received contraption, insult, and beating. This made the boy unhappy and adversely affected his progress in school. The unloved boy fell sick and died. According to me, Pratik was transplanted from village life, which was full of mischief and pleasure, to a life of city where he had no one to love and give affection to him. He realized the value of home and love because of neglected from his uncle's family and separation from his mother. During his illness, this wild boy turned mature and understands what is home. Dear guys, it was all for today. Hope you must have liked this video. Watch this video again and again from top to top.